Hubert, Yopp of Highland Park. So, what is going on with the proposal you made to the governor to declare Highland Park a fire disaster area?
Well, I met with staff members, the governor's staff. We discussed a resolution to our problem here in the city of Highland Park. The fire, arsons, and blightful structures that were really targeted by the arsonists. After meeting with them, I didn't really get any money. As a matter of fact, we have a program called Neighborhood Stabilization Plan 2, where the city is receiving approximately $13.8 million. I was authorized by the governor's staff to spend more of that money, which I had already designated expenditures for, meaning that we were allotted 10% of the $13.8 million to do demolition in the city. As a resolution, the state said you can now use 32% of that 13.8 to do demolition. However, I need my residential blightful structures knocked down, and I already planned for using that money. So I really didn't get any money from the state.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask about the blight ordinance and the neighborhood stabilization 1 and 2, if that's taken effect. So Highland Park's kind of on its own with that then, as far as what you just told me.
Yeah, Highland Park was part of a 12-city consortium that agreed to seek this federal money, and we were blessed to get approximately $13.8 million.
Right.
You know, for blight elimination, housing rehabilitation.
I have another question about arson. Highland Park has competent firefighters, you've said this, but outdated equipment, so is some of that money going to be allotted to new fire equipment?
No. We have been fortunate enough to apply for and receive a FEMA grant in the amount of $197,000. But that was not for what I wanted it for. It was for equipment. We need equipment.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. We got $197,000 for equipment. But my primary was to knock down more structures in the city.
So, does that mean at any point, okay, when you were going to propose to the governor to declare Highland Park a fire disaster, I remember you told me on the phone the other day, that's usually designated for, you know, save the trees, you know, in California and stuff like that, where here it's more saving lives and stuff like that. But so if that actually passes, or if they implement that, does that mean FEMA will occupy Highland Park?
No. As a matter of fact, I've gone to a number of different divisions in our state government, and their definition of a disaster is like Katrina or like the fires in California. Now, what my theory is, if you can spend all that money for helicopters flying over in California, extra firefighters, new equipment to save trees, why can't you give me some money to save lives? The close proximity of our houses in this city, when one catch fire, you may lose a block or even 2. So I need a disaster, fire, arson, disaster area. Now, that's something no one's ever done before, and I was told by every entity I called, FEMA, the state disaster offices, and the state police, and they say we just don't declare disasters for that. Then tell me a worse disaster than people's lives being threatened. There's no worse disaster.
Right, I agree. I mean, I've sat and saw a fire happen and saw a whole, like 3 or 4 houses next door that had nothing to do with the original fire.
Right.
It just catch.
Puts everyone in jeopardy, absolutely. Right. I appreciate you showing an interest, because if our government at every level would show the kind of interest that you as a student have shown me, I think things would be better in every municipality. We need monies coming directly from the federal government and not through the state and through the county. We need direct resources. Who can more identify with the problem in the city than the mayor or the council? Right. Or the residents themselves? No 2 neighborhoods are alike. We have problems in Highland Park that we can't fix without the assistance of the federal government or state government, and we're not getting sufficient funds. Highland Park is a more sustainable city than most cities in this region. It's one of the better locations in this region. Look at Highland Park, the freeways and the main avenues, and the people that pass through this city. Over 200,000 transit people pass through this city every day.
Right.
Highland Park should be that model city.
Yeah.
And we're going to be that.
Hit it.
Well said.